Now, there's an exciting new project to celebrate and explore the unique geology of Charnwood Forest, and it's taking place this week for half term. New Leaves and Ancient Rocks aims to engage children with natural history and the local environment in a series of free workshops that are taking place at Beacon Hill. It's been launched by Charnwood Arts and is being supported by Arts Council England. The workshops are being led by local organisation Buzzing Roots, and geologist Dr Jack Matthews and artist and workshop leader at Beacon Hill Emily Hett from the project are both joining me now. I mean, you've not really got the weather for it, guys, have you?
Not today, I'm afraid.
Oh dear. Are you in situ as we speak, Emily?
Yeah, I am. So I'm looking at the gazebo, but this morning, because it was lashing it down so much, we actually ended up in the cafe. So we were all kind of huddled in the corner of the cafe with hot chocolates and our clay.
But do you know what? That actually sounds really cosy and nice. I said to producer Pete earlier when I saw that this was coming up, I was like, Pete, we ought to check that this is still happening because I don't know how well a gazebo is going to fare for them. Obviously, it's a bit brighter now than it was a few hours ago, but I'm glad to see that you are still getting stuck in. So for starters, how has that first session gone? Hot chocolates and all?
It's been really good, yeah. There was all the families turned up. Obviously, it's half term, so everyone was just, I think, happy to be out and enjoying nature. And we had the first workshop this morning with the families, and then in the afternoon we had with the young carers, and we were kind of using clay and different printing techniques. So everyone got stuck in, and everyone was really happy to be there.
And what are you actually doing with the clay and stuff? Like, what's the aim of the game for the kids?
So basically, we had Julie here who was telling a lot about the geology of the area and the history of Charnwood, and it's kind of connecting art and I suppose science in a way to kind of create a creative outcome. So with the clay today, they were kind of imprinting flowers and natural things that they've been foraging for, but then also with the monoprinting, they were actually using the natural materials to kind of create collages and compositions from nature. So I suppose it's kind of bringing that idea of art and science together, and geology, really.
It sounds lovely. It sounds quite therapeutic. It's making me wish that I was a kid and I could get involved. Now, Jack, I noticed you nodding along there in the background. So as the geologist, why do you think it's important that kids are having a go at this stuff?
Well, the geology of Charnwood Forest is truly exceptional. It is unique and it is internationally significant. And any way that we can celebrate this is a good thing. And not everyone is going to be interested simply by hearing me talk about how we have some of the oldest animal fossils in the world just on our doorstep in Charnwood Forest. And so exciting projects like this, linking geology and art to reach out to people in a slightly different way and create something new. And I'm really excited to see what Emily goes on to make after this, because as well as engaging the people who are joining us this week at Beacon Hill, Emily's going to be going on and producing a new set of flags which will be on display, influenced by the geology, by the modern day wildlife and the trees and the leaves and the art that's been happening this week. So there'll be a real lasting legacy from this as well. And we really do need to stand up and shout about how important our geological history is in Charnwood Forest.
And you, do you know what's really lovely about that, Jack, is that you talk about it with such passion and enthusiasm that I'm like, of course, if you're talking about it, kids or people who maybe think that they wouldn't be into it are going to be into it because I feel the buzz that you feel. But you're right. I guess making things accessible in different ways then can appeal to different people, can't it?
Absolutely. And the other thing is there's wonderful parallels between some of the geological processes that I'd like to talk about and the processes that go on in the art. You know, people might be indeed influenced by the downpours of rain this morning and how that parallels to some of the flash floods that were going on during the Permian and the Triassic, maybe 240 million years ago in Charnwood Forest, depositing layers of sandstone. But the processes Emily's going through, making these pebbles out of clay, and then the printing that I love the parallels between the printing that the kids are doing with the leaves and the processes by which these ancient animals from 560 million years ago were squashed by volcanic ash, impressed into the rock, and then revealed to us 500 million years later in such spectacular fashion. So there's also the element that perhaps we as scientists can learn a bit from the art that's going on. Perhaps it can influence us in the other direction as well.
Amazing. That's a lovely way of looking at it. And I guess what's also nice is that potentially we could be raising the next Attenborough in our midst, because obviously we're super proud of Attenborough being from our turf, but getting the kids involved and engaged now. And I think that the success of, all of the Attenborough TV shows means that people are going to be more keen for it.
Absolutely. If there are, one of the things that got me interested in rocks of the particular age that we have in Charnwood Forest is that there are more questions than there are answers. And so I always tell people, there's still many things to be solved about the rocks and fossils of Charnwood Forest. And therefore, if you're a young geoscientist interested in rocks and fossils, come and help us. Come and help us solve the big questions we still haven't got answers to.
Amazing. Emily, for you, obviously you are crafting all this artwork with the children, and then at the end of the week, yes, you are gathering it all to exhibit it. So what will happen to it now?
So basically, I'll kind of take it back to my studio, and then I'll start kind of putting it all together in different ways and interesting ways. And then they'll all be printed into flags. And then they're going to create kind of a public sculpture trail through Beacon Hill. And so each one will have kind of activities and then a link with all the kind of geology behind the area, which obviously Jack will have massively scientific influence on. And then so basically the community can come and enjoy it.
Fantastic. So when will that happen? When will we be able to see the fruits of your labour?
So it should be in March, it should be happening. But if you follow Buzzing Roots on Instagram or Facebook, all information is there. And if you want to be involved in any future workshops as well, there'll be all that information there as well if you want to get involved in any kind of future geology and art projects.
Fantastic. I love a trip to Beacon Hill, so it's only made it seem more exciting now. Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thank you
so
much.